Okay, welcome again. Today it's a very special one. Sometimes it seems as the beginning of the week, but not to worry. It shall, this one too shall pass. Okay, joining me this morning to look at what the papers are saying. Two gentlemen in the house. They are Comrade Uzo Ekemeze. He's a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Comrade.
Very good morning, the members of the crew, ABS, and viewers at home. Please join us for this morning edition.
Okay. I also have do I add Comrade now? Okay. Mazi Usta as a public affairs analyst.
Good morning. Good morning, Dan and Brown.
Good morning, Usta. Longest time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, we may have to jump protocols this morning and go straight to the newspapers awaiting our website news. Okay, and the first paper we'll have for you this morning is the Daily Independence. Daily Independence newspaper. On the front page of the Daily Independence, I have this story that says, that's on top of the name templates, finally, federal government issues code of practice for online platforms. Finally, federal government issues code of practice for online platforms. Let's look at the rider. Let's see if we can get, yeah, okay, the rider says, okay, the writer says it's to protect Nigerians against hate speech, fake news. All right, but the banner headline here says Buhari CPC blog insists on picking Tinubu's running mates. Buhari CPC bloc, you know, there are so many parties that come together to form APC, major ones, AC and the CPC, and now they're telling us that Buhari CPC bloc insists on picking Tinubu's running mate. I think this running mate is going to be another problem. Okay, there's a writer there that says we should plan to win, not fighting for positions. This one is coming from Tinubu's group. Okay, so many camps. Okay, let's look at other stories. Steady drop in forest inflow worrisome despite CBN's efforts. And then the other one said neglect of Southeast in power equation sending wrong signals. This is coming from Namani. Neglect of Southeast in power equation sending wrong signals. Okay, police begin manhunt for abductors of Bishop, wife and driver. With a rider, a gunman kidnapped Catholic priest in Plateau community. Super Eagle records Nigeria's biggest win, Wallop Sao Tome and the Principe 10-0. Wow, that's a big one. Okay, we still have other stories coming from the Daily Independent. Rise in ways and means piles pressure on Nigeria's volatile debt profile. Rise in ways and means piles pressures on Nigeria's volatile debt profile. Okay, gentlemen, you have seen what Daily Independent have presented to us this morning. Let's start with this gagging of the social media. I know there's been a law in place for that before now, or an act. But now, why do you think federal government revisited this social media platform practices?
Well, first of all, you see, the earlier we start to understand what Nigeria is into, the better it becomes. You see, Nigeria is a federating unit. Nigeria practices presidential system of government. And in such system of government, what is obtainable is primacy of constitution. The constitution from section 36 down to 40 stipulates what we call fundamental rights. And that fundamental right is freedom of speech. It is in a nasty and British society that you are going to gag people not to speak, because you know that they have something to tell the public. But if you know that what you obtain is much of constitution, that constitution is grown now, okay, everybody is subject to the constitution. And we found out that the constitution guarantees people freedom of speech. And federal government leave what they're going to do, as Bible speaks in the book of Matthew, okay, leaving the water part of the law and going into burning of incense and the other, what they call it, animal sacrifice. You see, there's a problem that is mutating in Nigeria. We will talk about insecurity. We will talk about what we call fall of economic instability. These are major. A poor man in the village now doesn't know where the next meal will come from. These are issues that needed immediate attention. Nigerians leave the thing that they're supposed to do, federal government what they're supposed to do, and going into social media, trying just to say they are going to now guide people not to speak. Even if there is any some of the comments or some of the stories, the social medias that are bound to be false or not true as it is those that are makers of this particular statement. If you know them, you get them. If they are trying to portray false information. Because after all, if you give police a false information, investigate it, when you find that it's false information, you are going to be, arrested, charged to court, and probably you will be convicted if you found wanting. So, what I'm talking about, look at the debt profile of Nigeria has risen to 56 trillion. When PDP was in government, we are crying wolf that they borrowed 6.5 trillion in 16 years. But this APC-led government has borrowed not less than for something trillion in less than 8 years. So if you allow them to continue, maybe for another 8 years, it will run to 100 or something trillion.
Okay.
And now it is a pity, it's a shame that the international community, the IMF has shared this particular loan that Nigeria is borrowing, and Nigeria is about 200 million. Everybody is entitled to pay 200,000, including you and myself. Mm-hmm. If you have a family, have a wife, you're going to pay 400,000. If you have 2 children, you're going to map 800,000 to pay, because that's what I'm owing for China. Nigerian, federal government ministers will be going in the streets of China, junketing from one board IMF loan to another one, seeking to borrow money. Because when they borrow, they don't even need to invest it into revenue production, project. Rather, it's going to be a consumable thing. So when you borrow to consume, you are about to increase your debt.
Okay, comrade. Yeah, Osta, we are still looking at the gagging of Nigerians in social media, the Twitter, the Facebook, and Instagram. Why do you think this one has to come up now? Is it because of the spate of campaign that is going on, in this social media now? And do you think it will be of any effect, even if they decide to go with this?
Well, I want to take a different angle to this issue of the federal government coming up with a code of practice, all right, for the social media. We are entering into the presidential election period full time, and we know how certain interest groups go about spreading fake news, spreading propaganda, maybe to undermine their opponents and all that. So I believe that probably the federal government has good intentions for coming up with this code of practice. Let's remember that the job of the federal government is to regulate the activities of its citizens, all right, to prevent abuses, to prevent people going beyond the boundaries that have been set for them by the Constitution. So I believe that's the essence of this code of practice that has been come up with. We've not taken time to study what the content of this code of conduct for social media use actually is, for us to now take judgment on whether it is to gag freedom of speech or not. But as it stands right now, I believe that there is a need to regulate the activities of people who use the social media, because there has been a lot of, even so far as we are just at the beginning stage of the campaign period for this presidential election, there has been a lot of fake news. A lot of people have taken advantage of the fact that they can gain access to social media and have been, spreading a lot of hate speeches against certain opponents. So there's a need for regulation, because without regulation, human beings are bound to abuse their rights.
There has always been regulation anyway. Okay, it's just this new one that we are wondering what it's
all about. The important thing is that you cannot regulate social media whereby you have to now deform people. When people are not informed, they are going to deform. And when they deform, they cannot perform. Now, if you say that people cannot speak, sometimes there will be an incident, maybe there's claims of kidnapping, okay, and people, the casualty may be 30, then you say that it is only 5. People are going to tell you the truth. If you know that this is lie, come and debunk it with facts and figure. Trump was painted everything in US, and yet he still not even got the people that are speaking. So it's not the issue. The issue is now insecurity, economic instability. Face this thing so that Nigeria will be stable and there will be a very, very boom economic activities. This is what we need now. And not going to go to social media and gagging people.
Okay, thank you. Let's look at the big story in the Daily Independent. Buhari CPC bloc insists on picking Tinubu's running mate. There seems to be a problem in this running mate issue, not just for APC, I think it's in every other party. We should plan to win, not fighting for positions, and that simply means there's a leak somewhere. Let's see who has joined us before we continue. Yeah, hello. Good morning. Hello. Okay. Yes. Oster.
Yeah. Concerning the internal fracas that the APC is having, I don't really think that Daily Independent should make it the lead story on the papers. There are other issues that are of national concern that papers should make their lead stories if they are actually there for the masses and not for the highest bidder. So I'm really not happy with the editorial board of Daily Independent for making an issue that is supposed to be an inter-party problem the lead story of their paper. Now, that said, the issue of the APC telling us that there's a Tinubu group and that there is a Buhari group goes to show that their house is not in order, and they should actually put their house in order if they really want to continue holding the reins of power come 2023.
Okay, that's no political house that is in order in anywhere, but let's continue. Yes, a comrade, yesterday we saw the story that they have decided that the VP will come from the Northeast. And then the Senate President and the House of Speaker, may, that was the language they used yesterday, may come from the East and then South respectively. Okay, so how do you see this selection?
Well, there's what you call in sociology, we talk about norming, forming, and storming. So you found out that APC, as a party, in their norming stage, they have 5 political parties that come together. Okay? You have NNPP, you have CPC, you have ACN, then you have some fraction of APOGA and some aggrieved PDP members.
This NNPP, but we still have NNPP.
No, I say people that come together
okay.
to, when they are norming. Okay. Their norming stage, okay, was not well grounded. Okay, before they go to forming stage. In that forming stage, now talking about who is going to be the president. Are you going to select from NNPP? You know, Barry is there in CPC. Okay, you have some NNPP member or ACN, as Tinubu is leading the West. Okay, the leader of ACN. So in that particular forming stage, that particular crack started, and they don't want to manage it very well then because their sole aim is just to kick PDP out of the power, okay, and go to power without having a very proper formation. Then before now, they storm to the public domain, okay. Their norming and forming stage has already had a problem. That's why as they storm, they cannot go back again and start to deal with the problem that started in the early stage. So the only solution now is to balkanize the party, okay, and come back again. You see, to have that particular common interest and a proper ideology. That's what people say, okay, CPC bloc will give us VP. This one has said if ACN has taken presidency. That's why Tinubu, okay, let ACN has taken presidency. Let VP come from CPC. Then you find out that the NNPP bloc, the aggrieved PDP bloc, the faction of APOGA that joined them, what as their position? And that's why the problem is coming. So what I'm trying to say, zoning these things to northeast and northwest is what we call selective morality. You see, that's what somebody say, let us go and win. You see that ideology now? Want to win, forget about we anything, want to win. When you win now, the problem started to arise again. And people started to kill the party, people started to go and demand, this is our share, this is what we are, and the APC continue to have a problem. That's why this led government of APC has not solved Nigerian problem, because in their numbing and forming stage was not something that is grounded in terms of having the problem of Nigeria. So
together to form an alliance, that's everybody, I mean, all the interests are collapsed into one basket, that is APC. So inside that APC, they still have, you know, babies and...
yes, they have.
That they are not saying.
Yes, they're not saying that, because ACN was said that poor must go to south. That's what I'm trying to say that time now. And the APC have done their primary. Then ACN take the presidency.
So the VP must go to the north now, coming from CPC. Okay, let's move on. The next story we would like to take from this Daily Independent is the lamentation of Nnamani, where he said that neglect of Southeast in power equation is sending wrong signals. Oster, is it late lamentation or early lamentation? I don't understand, because everything is almost gone.
Well, I think I agree with you that the lamentation is coming a little late, because I thought this was supposed to come before the primaries, just when the lead political parties took that decision that the zoning of the presidency should not go to the south as had been earlier agreed. But that notwithstanding, right now the primaries have come and gone, and we've seen that the APC got zoned it, so to speak, zoned their presidency to the south, while the PDP zoned it to the north, and that has actually shown that the whole zoning idea died with the last dispensation, and it no longer holds any water in this particular electoral dispensation. So Nnamani, I would want to agree with him, but it doesn't really show that APC and PDP did not zone their presidencies to the southeast. It does not mean that other parties did not zone theirs to the southeast. So there's no such thing as that the southeast is being neglected in the power equation. There are other parties that are there that are holding sway right now. They are making a lot of force right now that zone their presidencies to the southeast. So if he has any clouds as a political juggernaut, he should move all his interest to those other parties that had zoned theirs to the southeast, and ensure that those parties are able to raise their head in the coming elections. That's my opinion.
Okay, thank you very much. You want to add something before we go on?
Yes, you see,
okay, briefly, please.
I agree that it is too late to cry when the head of tortoise is cut off. You see, where was Nnamani? Where was Bunayon? Where was David Umar, governor of Ebonyi State? When they are going into this APC, and the idea singing praises to the people that in the power will tear to you, okay, defending that particular, you are right. You know, nobody gives you power. You take power, and how do you take power? You must have to present a very powerful challenge on that and become significant. Then people can now surrender the power to you. Now look at what happened. Okay, the APC zoned their presidency to south. That is equity first. But in that equity, there is a defective on that. You come to south. Where is in south? Southwest has been VP for 8 years, presidency for 8 years, 16 years. South has been a president for 6 years, vice president for 4 years. It's not 10 years. What is that particular South is doing? You would not start this in time to challenge them. So you cannot mind them challenge. If you challenge the APC leaders, they will not mind them challenge. Ogbonna who said that where is justice?
So
crying
at that stage, what did you expect them to do? Perhaps do a walkout, or we don't belong to this. If you won't give it to us, we're not going to be part of it. What exactly did you expect?
What they're going to do is that when you are in a position, okay, try to use your position to able to have a bargaining power. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, let me take PDP as an example. Senator Anyanwu is secretary of PDP, national secretary of PDP. But he was not using the power to tell them that this particular president should zone to southeast. Look at national chairman, look at national secretary. These are two major, what do you call it, individual leaders. You are there, and they're beginning this thing, you keep your mouth shut, instead of you are finding alliance with them. That's why P2B and them leave. Now, let me just tell you what is going to happen. We have gone into regional government. APC, zone to south, Tinubu, southwest, PDP, northeast, and the P2B has gone to Labour, that is southeast. If we will, if it is possible, let us give these three people litmus test. Litmus test in the sense, give them three years. To be govern your own region, west. This one govern to your own north. It will be govern the southeast. In 3 years' time, come and give your index of your performance. Then we know who is going to be.
Will the remaining of this month be, and I mean this month before election, be enough for us to rejig the constitution?
No, I'm just trying to say if it's possible. Okay, if possible. That's my own suggestion. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that let us come. Delegates from the southeast who go there and voted for the north, who they voted. Okay, this one has only 38 votes. Oh my! This one has 0. Ken Naman withdraw. Ubunna did not get any 1 vote at all. Now, if delegates from the southeast don't even get your people, southeast, the whole delegate, if you voted for one person, okay, would have said, okay, hey, you have about 114 votes. It will be significant. But look at it, 38 votes. Anambra, Enugu, Abia, Imo, we had even not just Okorocha, his own particular state. Do not vote for him. It's called 0.
Okay, let's continue. The Nation newspaper is the newspaper this morning. I just hope the nerves will be calmed so that we'll continue. What is going on could be very annoying, but then we must continue. All right, the Nation newspaper, the major story we have there is the banner headline, Owo killings, controversy rages over ISWAP link. Let's look at the riders. Fayemi joins Akeredolu to doubt federal government's claim. And then Buhari for 40 victims on Friday. And headers invade Niger Delta Greek. IYC alleges that headers invade Niger Delta Greek. Okay, the major story there that said Owo killings, controversy rages over ISWAP link. And then this other one that said Fayemi joins Akeredolu to doubt federal government. Was it really a federal government claim, or now we are beginning to understand that it was federal government that told Akeredolu to say that it was ISWAP that invaded his state? Because it does appear they are now doubting where the attack came from. Okay? Okay, just keep it until we see this other story. And the story is coming from the Telegraph. That's our next paper, the New Telegraph. The banner headline there, 2023 election may not be the best, says Abdul Salami. We are at the Telegraph, please, the New Telegraph. 2023 election may not be the best. And then at the riders there, Lamba's political parties over monetization of primaries, charges INEC security agencies to be neutral in Ekiti polls. Okay, and then as CTA deploys 50 observers to monitor election, arm yourself with PVCs to avoid regress. This one is coming from Khan. Khan tells Christians, arm yourself with your PVCs. Says if votes don't count, politicians won't bribe voters. Okay, for those of you that say that vote don't count, why are you being bribed if not for your votes? Okay, then down here, Owo massacre. Ijo youth puts Niger Delta on red alerts. Owo massacre. Ijo youth puts Niger Delta on red alerts with a rider there over strange movements in riverine communities and then mass burial for deceased worshippers Friday. Federal government sets code of practice for Facebook, Twitter, and others. We have seen that story. So let's get back to the Nation's newspaper and see this big story there. Owo killings, controversy rages over ISWAP link. Osi.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, you know, there's been a lot of raising of eyebrow over what really led to that sad incident in Owo, and we've also not understood how the federal government or Akeredolu and other people who addressed the press got their information as to the origin of those attackers. But the truth remains that we are not, that the citizenry, the common man in Nigeria is not satisfied with the way the security agencies have gone so far with the investigations and all whatnot with regards to that Owo killing. We've not been told whether anybody was arrested. On social media, there was a buzz some days back that certain individuals who alleged they were part of the killing submitted themselves to the community. And then the next thing we heard was that the security agencies debunked that claim, saying that no such thing happened. So we don't know what's really happening, and we just hope that for once the security agencies, the federal government would come out straight and really tell us what's happening with our security in Nigeria.
Nobody has been caught. For all the insecurities we have witnessed in this nation, have anybody been caught or prosecuted?
No. The answer is no. Because to an extent, you find out that, what do we say? In Nigeria, the problem is so enormous that you have all this, what they call it, devil's advocate in different dimensions. You have Boko Haram, you have ISWA, you have the banditry, you have people that are even affirm themselves as a what do you call it, agent of kidnapping. Okay, you find different people that are in different angles of insecurity. So when something happens, you don't say it is Boko Haram. You want to say it is now ISWA. This one say that it is even bandit. It's even Fulani herdsmen. Okay, because we have different type of herdsmen in Fulani. We have political herdsmen. We have religious herdsmen. You have social herdsmen. You have all these people that are traditional herdsmen of Fulanis. So which one are we following? Now,
herdsmen are people that
no, I'm coming now.
that takes care of cows.
I say,
so
I have type of flesh. Like those people that are cleaning and burning houses. What are they? Are they doing it for people that enter the church and kill people?
they are terrorists.
They go to market?
No, those ones are terrorists.
So to turn them that are religious herdsmen, people that are going to fight in terms of religion. Now, coming to issue of what's happening in Owo, okay, there is a different stories, different report that it is these people that did that. People now go and say, okay, like my friend said now, people submitted in this national, social media, that we are the one that did this and that, okay. Maitre said no, nobody has been arrested and nobody has been, identified as people that perpetrated that particular, act on that very good Sunday morning. Now, what are we saying? The insecurity in Nigeria is something that you're supposed to fight holistically. Okay? We don't want to know whether ISWAP is in Mambila Mountain. We don't want to know whether Boko Haram is in Bisa Forest. We don't want to know that this people kidnapping is in this forest, whatever it is. Nigeria method of fighting insecurity using kinetic method cannot yield all the result. There is a method they're going to use which we call center of gravity. Center of gravity method is who are the sponsors of this people? Where did they come from? Where did they go after attack? That's what we call counter-terrorism and not anti-terrorism. Anti-terrorism now, okay, look at the joint. Say that they give people red alert. Fine and good, red alert. They're coming, they block all the creek, block everywhere they're going to enter. Where are they? This Boko Haram is Special Forest, this one is Mambila Mountain, this one is in social place. Go there, get them and destroy them. Osama bin Laden bombed America. Okay, America did not wait for, okay, we don't want you to come again. We blocked everywhere. Washington, everywhere was going to be barricaded. They kill surveillance, you cannot enter America. America leave their state, find Osama bin Laden in Pakistan and get him and destroy him. That is how to fight terrorism. That's what we call counter-terrorism, not anti-terrorism. So Nigeria using method of kinetic method, that is bombing, find them, you fire me, I fire you, or whatever it is not going to yield absolute result. So let us find their sponsors. Last time they named about 400 persons that are sponsoring Boko Haram in Saudi Arabia. Where are they? Who are they? What is their identity? Have they been arrested? Have been taken to court? They put it under the carpet. So this government are the take of what will happen in this Nigeria. Remember what Leta Abacha said, that if insurgents last more than 24 hours, the government hands on it. We have all the military personnel and the arsenals to what these people out of this particular state. But we are trying to treat them with a kid glove. How can somebody last year being a negotiator of kidnappers, Gumi, who is going to negotiate how people are going to pay, treat them with pamperedness, because there are people that in Nigeria that were brothers and sisters. Let us give them what they want, then all this thing will come. We go to an end. Then why should we allow him to parade in the street? of Abuja negotiating. If they want, they would have given him Minister of Negotiation so that they can able to go and negotiate with the people that are being kidnapped. Even last time, people that are leased, the people that are Abuja, Kaduna Rail, people that have been leased, they said that he's giving that are facilitating their lease. How? So he knows them. Why can't you go and take us to them and arrest this man?
It's a very annoying situation. Just keep it under control as we move on. Okay, the big stories from the New Telegram, Ulster. 2023 election may not be the best. This one's coming from Abdul Salam. That guy has not spoken for a long while. What did he see that makes him say that 2023 may not be the best of the elections?
Well, I believe it has to do with the bastardization of the primaries in the lead political parties. I'm talking about the APC and PDP, with the amount of foreign currency that was allegedly shared. I believe that was what informed Salami's perspective. But the truth of the matter is that even right when he was in power, all right, primaries had been monetized. So it's just that in present administration, in the present era, the social media is holding sway, so everything that happens becomes common news. That is why the primaries that just concluded primaries and the monetization was trending. So that said, I believe that Salami cannot really so Salami cannot predict for us how the elections will be. Let's stay positive. Let's continue to believe that the upcoming elections, with all the facilities that have been put in place by the INEC, will be free, fair, and credible. So if if it doesn't turn out to be so, they will know that our hopes, that the efforts we made, we still need to make more effort. But for now, the way INEC operates now and the way he was operating during Salami's time is not the same. So let him not think that INEC is still as vulnerable as he was there. We are positive that the upcoming elections will be the best so far, given the machineries that INEC have put in place.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's move on. We're still going to make some of the stories. We still have a lot of papers to look at. Okay, Daily Trust is our next paper this morning. The major headlines there say Tinubu's camp, running maze, Tinubu's camp narrows down on Shetima, Atiku on Okowa. I think that's going to be a serious battle here. With the riders, Asiwaju meets Buhari tomorrow. CPC elements push for Malami, Sirika. And then King Gibwe nominates 3. Guzal's panel recommends Okowa, Wike, Udom. And then parties have 72 hours to submit nominees. This is serious. Okay, we have looked at that story. Let's move on to other stories. Yobe North, still coming from Daily Trust. Yobe North, I won't step down for Lawan. This one is coming from Machina. We saw that one, where Lawan is battling for his senatorial ticket after going for the presidential one. Owo Ata, Catholic Churches fixes Friday for victims of mass burial. Okay, and the Touch Bank Islamic Corporation to fund capital projects in Nigeria. I think this funding by Islamic Bank has been going on over years, whatever they want to achieve with it. Okay, how defections created leadership vacuum in Senate. Let's go to Vanguard now. Vanguard newspaper. VP APC eyes Shetima, Lalong, Wike, Okowa battle in PDP. VP APC eyes Shetima, Lalong, Wike, Okowa battle in PDP. Reopen our universities now, Anglican Church tells federal government. Reopen our universities now, okay. And then Daily Sun is our next paper. Beside the name template of the Daily Sun, I have this story. Opposition continues to trail feared Muslim ticket in APC. Opposition continues to trail feared Muslim tickets in APC. Let's look at the writer there. Onu SAC fee scribe, Khan, Ohaneze, Afenifere, Middle Belt Forum, Ariwa Group warn against such considerations. Okay. All right, but the banner headline there says, PDP narrows choice to 3 South governors. Why are they not looking at Southeast at all? Why must it be South? Okay, we have seen that story. Stop senseless killings. Kogi Anglican Bishop cries out to federal government, says Nigeria now land flowing with tears and blood. Oh dear. Buhari Carlo held Abdulsalam at 80. He's a strong advocate of democratic consolidation, good governance, Northern governors say. Over church attack, mass burial for victims, Friday. And then this other story here, confusion as 3 military officers slumped at Democracy Day parade. Kingibe gets VP recognition. Okay, this slump, we have seen it in virtually all the papers. What could be wrong? Could be stress or hunger or a lot of wahala in this country. Okay, so of all this, we're going to look at one, the kidnapping of prelates now, or what do I call them? Men of God. Government kidnap Catholic priests in Plateau, and there's another one in another state, and a whole lot of them. What exactly is going on after that of the Methodist Church? It does appear they are now seeing this as a big deal, having been paid 100 million by Methodist Church. Is that why they have faced the clerics now?
Yes, the kidnapping is a windfall business in Nigeria, and that's why people are going into it. And why they are going, when I was trying to say, there's different type of terrorists or kidnappers, okay? They have social kidnappers, business kidnappers, religious kidnappers, okay? When they're kidnapping Methodist, bishop, he paid 100 million. Now, they go again and kidnap 3 Catholic just again, they're going to now pay money again. Some people are targeting the religious area. They went and bombed a church, keep people inside the church. These are religious kidnappers or devil's advocate. Okay, then you have people that are going to kidnap businessmen. Okay, they're still going to pay money. You see, so they find it that it is a lucrative business. That's why they are going into it. And before somebody can go into this, he must be a sponsor. A bird that dances in the road part, the drama is in near bush part. Okay, so what I'm trying to say, look at every now and then you wake up in Nigeria, you hear a story of kidnapping, killing, maiming. Every blessed day, even if it is in Afghanistan, whereby you wake up in the morning with bomb. Okay, I don't know something like this. Even Taliban, that is. Why
do you think it persisted?
Because there are sponsors. There are people that are aiding and abetting them to do that. You cannot tell me that somebody who have no boy who cannot even feed himself 3 square meals can lay hands in AK-49. Who give them that AK-49? Where did he get it from? You know what can sponsor them? Let me just tell you, it is a network now in Nigeria. Until you apply center of gravity method, okay, and then add it with the kinetic method before this issue of insecurity can be nailed to the board. Let me just tell you, people are saying, okay, forget about, let me come into the issue of Muslim ticket, Christian ticket. Muslim ticket, okay, is it problem of Nigeria? Christian ticket, okay, those that are having Muslim and Christian, what have they done? PDP, that's what I'm trying to tell Abdul Salam, who said that 2023 cannot be best election. When he conducted primary in 1999, what happened? Okay, the one that he conducted from 1999 to this particular time is a failure. Why? Before 1999, the one that, 1993, which Humphrey Mosu conducted the best election, is Muslim ticket, Abiola and the King Gibe. Okay, Nigeria said that free and fair. It was best election at George even international standard. Okay, now after that, now you're telling me that okay, no Christian, no Muslim. You know, this thing we are trying to bring religious issue into that. What we talk about is that Nigeria is a secular state. Whether you're Muslim or Muslim, constitution is there and it's a grown norm. If you try to use a religion to intimidate others, you have a problem. Because it's a secular state, you must have to practice your religion. Whether you're Muslim or Christian. America have Christian. Other countries have Christian. And they're developing. Other people have Muslim, like in Saudi Arabia. What are they in Dubai? So it's not an issue. The issue is that let us redefine our constitution to balance everything so that everybody will be having a reflective, gain and the interest in this particular country, Nigeria, and not to practice selective morality.
Khan is asking for reopening of universities, and then one starts wondering, with all what is happening, the students have been at home for months and nobody is even, is there any negotiation going on at all? Otherwise, it's just politics, politics, politics.
Yeah, well, I believe negotiations are going on in the background, but the reason politics is taking the center stage is because we know, like we're beginning to realize in this part of the world that the political sphere controls other spheres in the society, and I'm happy with the recent increase an expansion in consciousness amongst the greater populace. More people are going for their PVCs now. More people are talking about the electoral process. So we believe, that is why I'm very positive, and a lot of people are positive that the upcoming 2022 election will be one of the best, because we are going to see more people participate. That is, if the federal government and the security agencies sincerely hold the security aspect of the electoral process in check. And that said, I want to applaud the Christian Association of Nigeria for rising to the situation and calling for the universities to be reopened. Not just universities, even polytechnics. They need to reopen. The students need to go back to school, because right now we're entering into the election process. We know that the people that are usually used as thugs and all whatnot are young people, and most of these young people are found as undergraduates in schools. And when schools are not in session, most of them are bound to fall into the hands of all these money mongers who would use them to constitute nuisance during the election process. But when they are positively engaged in school, I believe that a lot of this will be brought to check. So the federal government really needs to listen to Christian Association of Nigeria and reopen our universities. We've seen that they have the money. They're able to pay hundreds of millions of naira when their lives are at stake or when their political position is threatened. So why can't they pay such an amount of money to make sure that the education sector, which is actually the determining factor of how well our future goes, is under threat as it is right now?
Okay, thank you very much. Let's look at I'm coming. Let's look at the two remaining newspapers, and then you can conclude with that. Okay, Punch newspaper is up for review this morning, and the Southeast PDP demands Atiku's VP slot. Party dismisses Obi straight. Southeast PDP demands Atiku's VP slot. Party dismisses Obi threat. Let's look at the riders. Party leaders hold crucial meeting with Atiku today. They say Obi's popularity only on social media. And then former Anambra governor, a phenomenon, will shock PDP at presidential poll. This one is coming from campaign team. And then the last rider there said only running mate slots can wrest Southeast vote from Obi, Anambra PDP spokesman. Okay. And then the last paper this morning is the Guardian newspaper. The banner headline says PDP narrows VP choice to Wike, Okowa, and Odom, as it still the holds. Okay, WHO decries acute blood shortage in Nigeria, other low-income countries. Blood shortage in Nigeria with this kind of blood flowing on our streets every day. Okay, maybe we'll start scooping them, you know. Okay, so that's all we'll have for you from this paper now. You may go on, because most of the stories here, we have seen them in other papers. Yeah, comrade.
Yes, let me just first of all, in addendum to what my learned friend said here, my colleagues, talk about, when I talk about that rise in kidnapping. It is we that are making it to be rising. Let me just tell you one thing in criminal law, okay? If you park your car and keep a wallet, that is very, very heavy, and the glass is transparent, and somebody is passing there and see that there's money inside that place, okay? That particular transparency that reflect that money, okay, to him or her, will make him or her to act to steal that money. That's what we call in criminal. That is what is intention, okay? What brings intention to do something. That's what we call the mens rea. You see, now, APC roll the admission form to 100 million, and 23 person pay 100 million. Hey, those who are kidnapping will say, now, wow, so such money is even there in this particular Nigeria, and politicians are holding it. Now, everybody who will arrest, will kidnap, must pay 100 million. So that's money. You see what I'm trying to say? Because the APC have to amplify okay, these kidnappers to even go and subscribe themselves more. So that's what I'm trying to say. Until when we know, okay, they cannot pay 100 million to open universities, and they're on strike. That's why this man left PDP. They're sharing dollars. He said, how can you be sharing hard currency in primary? And how can you, okay, your salary is, what do you call it, 46 million per annum, okay, and you're spending 100 million. So which means even if a year, you cannot even get all the money. How can you go to business? You're going to have loss, okay, 46 million, then 100 million. PDP said they own 14 million and other things, they buy it. It is hard time we now we stop to amplify, to help to aggravate certain thing that is happening. This money that you are doling out in dollars, in pounds, if you ask anybody in Abuja, what's her name? You say my name is Delegate, and they're going to attract crowd because delegates are rich now. Most of them going with something $1,000. Yes, delegates are making this.
Kidnapping the delegates.
Yes, and they want to take the delegate because they're giving them this money. Okay, so now.
Okay, let's look at the position of the PDP.
Yes,
Southeast.
Southeast that are saying, somebody are saying that if you give Southeast VP, it will dismantle P2P. That one is dead on arrival. It's a fallacy of highest order. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, people that are clamoring, give us president. Now you say that give us VP that is going to dismantle this man. This man has set a track record. Social media transformed to reality. Let me just tell you, somebody who says something on social media will go to on reality. And you go to Lagos. Let me just tell you what happened in Lagos. Okay, in Lagos, I was in Lagos for almost 3 days now. You see, people, the Alaba International Market, Ladipo, Balogun, Aspanda, Trade Fair, shut down the market that everybody should go and get his PVC. Okay, when I come out in the street, what I see, that is, I say, so that the Igbos like this are living in Lagos. Okay, they shut down everywhere. Even to the INEC official, we are running away that they cannot even register them. Now, let me just tell you calculatively. Okay, Lagos, Kano, Kaduna, Sokoto, Meduguri, all these major cities in everywhere. After the indigenous, second populated person, peoples are Igbos. Okay, and they're picking their TVC. So this man said that Obi will shock these people, and it's true that he's going to shock them. Talking about people that are going for VP because they just only want to go there for their selfish interest.
What makes you feel that picking their PVC to vote for a particular candidate? OC, can I come to you? Yeah. Is it possible that all these people are picking their PVC because they want to vote for B?
Yeah, I believe they actually, what I understand from what's happening right now from my observation is that the reason more people are getting involved right now is because of the narrative, the change in narrative that Obi, the presidential aspirant, flag bearer of Labour Party, has actually brought on board, because all the while nobody has been listening to the speeches of some of these presidential candidates. But when one listens to Peter Obi over time, right from even before he declared his interest to be president, when you listen to him and his perspective towards the solution to our problem is as a nation, you find out that this is somebody who actually has a good head on between his shoulders. So, and that is why more people are being getting interested in getting their PVC, which definitely is going to translate to, before we thought, people were saying, the allegation was that all these force will just end on social media. But now they are beginning to see that the force on social media, just like my colleague said, it has translated to people actually denying themselves of their economic activities to get the PVC. And I believe that is definitely going to now translate to them making themselves available. Remember that there was a lesser percentage of people who get involved in the voting process. But we are going to see more people get involved this time around.
Thank you. And it's important to tell ourselves that P2B is not contesting for Anambra State. A governor is contesting for the president of Nigeria. So we should, bring it down, especially those of us that are from this side of the world, and allow other people to do the campaign for you. I'd like to thank you very much, Comrade Uzo Ekemeze, for joining us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. Ndebani, let all the delegates people that are 40 years in politics, 43 years Tinubu and Atiku. They have to go out for.
Okay, now go personal, please. And then Oster Eze, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me once again.
God bless you too. My name is Sijama Uche. I'll do stand by for our next program that is coming up shortly.